spirit and with mind. You know, I'm reminded of the prophet Samuel, when Samuel was called upon God to anoint the next ruler. And so Samuel goes to Jesse's house. And so, you know, Samuel was like, well, they're going to kill me. And God is like, oh, get over yourself and go. You know, take your oil and anoint the next ruler. So what did Samuel do? Samuel saw all these big, beautiful men. Oh, you must be the one. God said, Samuel said, you must be the one. God said, Finally, God got so tired of Samuel using his eyes. And what God told Samuel was, do not look at the person's appearance, the height, or the stature. For God sees not as humanity sees, for humanity looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at humanity's heart. Oftentimes, what we see with the eyes, let me tell you, it's all an illusion. It is all an illusion. And that's what dating services are all about. They want to present you that illusion. I'm not even going to ask, well, maybe I should. Has anyone ever tried them? Come on, be honest. Your laughter gave you up. Come on. There we go. Bless you, Julie. You know, and the reality is, what do we look for when we're checking out those dating services? Hobbies, common thread, likes and dislikes. The last thing you're looking for is she or he taller than me or shorter than me? Eye color, hair color, physical attributes. The reality is, what the heart speaks of and what it speaks about makes a deeper impression than the body. Now, I don't know about you, but perhaps you've had this experience. You've seen somebody. Hi, Roger Rabbit. And all of a sudden, you talk, and your voice echoes back. You get it, don't you? And this big, beautiful shell is empty on the inside. We are called to be filled with spirit. We are called to be filled with healing energy. We are called to be filled with a balanced sense of who we are. And that's a journey in itself. Heck, I was telling Reverend Steve earlier, and Reverend Pat knows very well, I had self-esteem issues when I was growing up. Heck, I still have them. And the reality is, we have to grow into our own skin. We have to grow into our own spirit. We have to grow into our own emotions and reconcile with who we are, because God expects nothing less from us. And what's sad about it all is that the church in general, when it comes to speaking about the body, they go, da, da, ba, ba, spirit. They can't talk about the body. They freeze up. When it comes to talking about the body, they put it out to the margins. And it stays in the shadows, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be accepted. And we're expected to feel guilt and shame about how beautiful we are. Regardless of how you look, you are beautiful. I see you, and you're beautiful. God has made you to be a reflection of who God is. And when we look at ourselves in the mirror, I want to know, do you see God looking back? Because that's exactly who is smiling. And if we can acknowledge that, then we can acknowledge that this big, beautiful frame is truly encompassing the beautiful spirit that has called us to journey forward and give the best of who we are. And that's difficult when we've grown up saying, you're wrong, you're broken, you're not what God has asked you to be. Those are lies. You know, yesterday I had the privilege and blessing of speaking to a 16-year-old young man. You know, I'm tempted to say kid, but the reality is that his mother taught him to be fully independent. It's the way she was raised. She taught him to be completely independent. And he used the metaphor of Frankenstein. He said, she created me this way, and now she's complaining. I'm 16 years old. I don't know what it's like to be with my friends because all I know is responsibility. All I know is what my mom taught me. I don't know what it's like to be in this 16-year-old frame. And he was trying to balance it out. And he said, my mom doesn't trust me. Yeah, I've done some bad things, but she's judging me on what I've done in the past. And now he's trying to move forward, and all he knows is what his mom is hanging over his head. Oh, can we identify? Can we identify with that? And all of a sudden, the body sacred is tainted by the lies and the myths and the deceit that someone else hangs over your head because they have issues. And when we can't reconcile with their issues, we are held back. And that becomes painful. That becomes agonizing. And so I took a huge leap in speaking with this young man one-on-one. I finally called his mom in and I said, Mom, let's come to agreement. I want you to not nag your son. I want you to not ride your son. I want you to not just get on your son's case for 2 weeks. You let him be. Because I think he knows what to do. And I said, son, if you mess up, who's to blame? And he said, I am. And he understood. It's a big responsibility when the only skin we have, the only body we have is this one. And when we can be comfortable with it and make the right choices, whether it's eating well, whether it's meditating, whether it's exercising, whether it's playing, whether it's simply resting, the consequences received speak for themselves. And then we can be a living example of who Christ is in this world today. As we mature in our bodies and in our spirit and in our minds, our state of mind is reflected in our state of bodies. If you've ever been sick, that plays games on your bodily spirit. Like, I don't feel good. Oh, my back is jacked up. Oh, as you get older, have you heard this joke? You get older, you get kinkier, a kink here, a kink there. Ba-dum-bum. Where's my drummer? And so and the reality is, God is asking us to grow gracefully. It's part of our call.